That's it. Oh, I always forget to record the session at the beginning. So, guys, this week we're going to start working on our week number 7. You know that it's the almost last week that we have, right? The next week, that it's the week number 8, is going to be our last week, but we talk about that at the end of the class, so let's continue. Ready? The week it's related to words, and well, we said like, well, words, it's like kind of basic, isn't it? So, but we're going to learn something like deeper related to words. Okay. Now, I would like to know, how do you get better at vocabulary? How do you improve your vocabulary, and how do you deal with newly found words? Do you remember what is the meaning of newly found?
Como, como recién descubiertos, por decirlo así.
Great, excellent. That's the best definition that you can have. So how do you get better at vocabulary, and how do you deal with your newly found words? What do you do? What are your techniques? How do you study?
In my case, I watch a lot of movies
Mhm.
and series, and I prefer to watch it in English. So if I find some words that I don't know, I look it up in the translator
Mhm.
and try. I'm not doing all the time, but I try to use it in my vocabulary, or I try to think a lot in this word. So it's
Great.
maybe in that way.
That's one of the best ways. Important that, well, we can get new words from many different places, movies, series, songs, whatever. But the most important part is to include them into the vocabulary right as you do it, right? Excellent, Emily. Very good. Thank you. And what about you, my friend? What's your technique, mate?
I believe that my technique is to start describing anything around me. For example, um, the places in my house, the places in my my work, the places in my city. I start describing everything because of all the vocabulary that we actually have in a language. Is the way that we describe our environment.
I couldn't have said better, Mike. Very good. Yes, language are mainly descriptive, and that's the main purpose of it, right? Describing our environment, our surroundings. Great. Muy bien. Thank you so much. And Daniel, what's your technique, Mike?
I try to learn at least 5 words per day, and my technique is basically trying to remember in myself during a short time these words, and then repassing them, or repassing them during the night, trying to not forget them.
Okay, very well. What you can use is reviewing them, yes, or checking them over, which is like checking again
Exactly.
and again and again.
Yes, sir.
Okay, Danny, thank you so much. Good, excellent. So, well, those are all of those are like creative and valid techniques for learning vocabulary. Every person learns vocabulary in a different way. Depends on your type of intelligence that you have. If you are interpersonal, well, you are going to learn better by speaking with others. If you are intrapersonal, you're going to do it as Daniel does it, like trying to like checking them over by yourself, right? Or if you are a person who's kinesthetic, then it's possible that you learn vocabulary more if you try to study while moving or walking outside your house or doing a physical activity. So every person learns vocabulary in a different way, but it's important that you try different ways to do it so you can find out which is the best way, which is the best technique for you. Not only for you three, but also for all the people who are watching the video of the class. It's important that you try to learn and know yourself, yeah, on the way. How do you learn better? Okay. Bueno, guys, second question. Can you please find the antonyms of these words that we have here? We have legal, logical, social, undervalued, and disassemble. Could you please find the antonyms of these words? What about the
um,
first one?
illegal,
Illegal,
legal.
very good. Uh-huh.
The second, illogical.
Illogical, very good.
The
Illogical.
social, antisocial, maybe.
Good, that is the one. Antisocial, very good.
Undervalued,
Hmm.
overvalued,
Marvelous, you just change it under for overvalued.
and disassembled.
Uh-huh.
for assemble.
Assemble. Yes, very good. I sorry. Assemble. Muy bien, good. Excellent, Mrs. Emily. You got great vocabulary. And here you can notice that finding antonyms and synonyms, it can be a matter of a small particle on the word. Yes. For example, here in the first two, she only added e, or bueno, I to both words. In the third word, she had to add a bigger particle, which is anti, and then on the other, she replaced the first part with other opposite particle, right? So depends on the word, we're going to have different ways to change it, right? It's important that we learn that the language or the vocabulary in English, it's not equivalent to the vocabulary in Spanish. Every language has different words and different concepts. So that is why it is important to, of course, try to memorize or try to know the vocabulary in English, but it's pretty common that sometimes we have to create new words. Ready? So, for example, here we have, how do you say these words in English? Enfermarse, enojarse, fastidiarse, divorciar, divertirse y emocionarse. How do you say those words?
Get sick,
Yeah, good. Get sick,
get angry,
get angry, very good. Get angry or get
Have
upset.
fun. Oh, get fun.
get annoyed,
Get annoyed, good, very good. Get annoyed. Emmy, what did you say? Sorry.
Como get fun or have fun.
This one, divertirse. Yeah, very good. Have fun. And the last one, emocionarse.
Maybe get excited.
Exactly. Very good. Get excited. Well, guys, as you notice, these five words are words that they do not have equivalence in English. For that reason, you gotta use two different words for creating one concept that we normally have in Spanish. Yeah. And it's going to happen a lot of times the same thing, especially, for example, with states. No, in Spanish, we do something that it's put the suffix se for one state, so it becomes an action. Yes, I am enojado, but if I use se, then I transform that into an action, enojarse. Yes, and of course, if I conjugate it, but I change it, but it can be transformed, the state of the person, into a verb. In English, not so much. Or we can do it, but not modifying the word, but adding another word. In this case, the word get, which it's one of the most flexible verbs in English. And then we can get things like this: get plus verbs in past participle for two main reasons: reflexive actions, like something that you do by yourself, or states, as I said before. For example, get fired, get robbed, get promoted, get relaxed, get spoiled, get burned, get hired, actions that you received, right? And also states: get sick, get angry, get sad, get excited, annoyed, cranky, grumpy. Yeah, those concepts, they do not exist in English. So that's why naturally the people who speak Spanish, they need the concept, because we normally use it in our language. It's pretty normal that we try to impose those concepts also in the second language. But if the second language doesn't have them, we have to create them. So that's why we have some resources, like for example, combining words in order to create or like to find an equivalence of concepts that we have in our mother tongue, en nuestra lengua madre. It means in Spanish. Ready? So this combination of get and a verb in past participle is going to help me a lot, because that's going to give me the possibility of creating concepts that we normally don't have in English, but that we normally use in Spanish, right? That is not the only way that we have for creating new words. A part of this combination of words, we can do something else, that is compounding the words. When we already know why it's necessary, I already just told you, because there is not an equivalence between the language that we are learning and the language that we have as a first language. So that's why it's important. Then we have also the possibility to create compound words, no compound adjectives, like for example, newly found, handmade, homemade, and even they can be created as a superlative, no? So it's also a possibility. But the most common way to create new words is adding affixes. Affixes are little particles, sometimes at the beginning or sometimes at the end of a word, that they are going to change the meaning of the word. And it happens in English, but also it happens in Spanish, it happens in all languages, that it's modifying one word, which is the root, ¿cierto? La palabra raíz, yes, o la palabra base, and adding sometimes prefixes, which is before the word, or sometimes suffixes, which is after the word. And of course, depending the affix or the prefix or the suffix, it's going to completely change the meaning of the word. Yeah. Some example, for example, is accept, which is an action. Yes. But we add a prefix and a suffix, and it becomes unacceptable, which is an adjective. Ready? So the first word, the root word, was a verb. The second word, the result, it's an adjective, it's a characteristic, right? So we're going to have the possibility to create new words also, depending on my intention and my necessities, yes, putting particles before or after the root word, so I can modify that word and create the word that I require, right? So let's start first by checking the suffixes. These ones are some of the most common ones, of some of the most common suffixes that we have, and that they are going to help me to understand a lot of different words. Yes. For example, when we have full, full of, less is the opposite, without, meant is an action. Yes, like the noun of an action, el nombre de la acción. Ness is an state or quality. Li, it's a manner. How do you do things? Shun, it's the action of the process. Yes. OUS is full of, like, dangerous. Ice, like create an action. And if I, that's why, creating a verb. Yeah. For example, if I say beauty, it's the word belleza. That's why, right? But if I include the suffix full, it's full of beauty. O sea, hermoso, right? But here I said, for example, help, which is the action of ayudar. But what about if I say helpless? Helpless. What is that? Helpless.
Desamparado.
Not really. Well, yes, it could be desamparado, but it's like sin ayuda, ¿no? O sea, que no ayuda. Es como que le quita el significado o le resta a la raíz. Ready? That's it. Meant, it's transforming one word into a noun. For example, we have the word judge. What is the meaning of judge?
Juzgar.
Juzgar. But then if I include the suffix meant, it's transforming that into a noun, into un sustantivo. O sea, ya no es la acción juzgar, sino, what is that?
Juicio.
Juicio, very good, which is this noun, es el sustantivo de esa palabra. Ready? Yes. Entonces, different words are going to have different suffixes. Obvio, no podemos generalizar la regla y decir como que todos los verbos se vuelven sustantivo agregándoles esta acción. No, no funciona así, right? Algunos funcionan así, not all of them. Lo importante es que conozcamos esos sufijos para cuando yo me encuentre la palabra, de pronto no la conozco, la pueda tratar de entender. Ready? State or quality, no? So, for example, we have, I don't know, resourceful. Resource, wait, I misspelled. Resourceful. Resourceful, right? That is the action, the adjective, recursivo, right? But if I want to transform that into that quality, if I want to transform into a noun, I can use resourcefulness. Ready? That it transforms one quality into a noun. Recursivo, ready? It's going to transform into recursividad, resourcefulness, right? Sometimes the words get too long and a little bit complicated, but that's the matter, right? Li, this is one of the most common suffixes that we have, right? That we know that in Spanish is like mente, and it transforms one word into a manner. Yes, entonces, ¿cómo se hace la cosa? For example, we have quick is the characteristic of something fast, no? But if I want to describe the action, quickly, that's how the action is, right? Or depending, if I am describing the person, I just use the adjective. My friend is super quick. But if I describe the action, my friend runs super quickly. Yes. So li, it's an a manner, and it's describing how an action is done. Shown also transforms something into an action, like for example, I don't know, let's say abort. Yeah, the same. Abort, it's the action, yes. And to transform it into a process is abortion. Yes, that's it. So many different words that are going to use that suffix that they are transformed into a noun. Negotiate, and the word negotiation, right? Which is transformed into that. OUS, full of danger, dangerous. Yes. I cannot think in other right now, but there are many others. Ice is create a verb. For example, we have the word analysis. And no, let's use better emphasis.
Teacher,
Yes.
dangerous.
Yes, the one dangerous. That's the most common one, but I was thinking in other. Hmm. Ah,
Famous.
yes, for example, generate, transform into the action, generous, right? So that into the characteristic generous, right? Here we have, for example, the word emphasize. 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 Yes, wait, emphasize. How do you spell emphasize? Like this or like this? No, I think it's this one. Emphasize, right? Which it comes from the word emphasis, which is emphasis, and then it comes the verb emphasize, which is enfatizar, right? Or analysis that it transforms into analyze. Also, it transforms into a verb. And also the word with AIFE, for example, clarification, it's the noun. How is the verb? Clarify, right? So justification, it's the noun, and the verb justify, right? The sum these words, they are transformed into like a verb by including the suffix AIFY, right? So, guys, the use of these suffixes, it's kind of varied because there are many different ways and there is not a single rule. It's simply a matter of trying to understand them so we can understand also the words that we can find with those roots. Yes. So because it's not a matter of memorizing the words or the rules, but trying to understand it. So the next time that we find a word that finishes in less or in full, yes, I can understand what's the difference between them, right? On the other hand, of course, oh, well, here we have it's like more commonly the nouns finishes with ness, er, yon, the ones that we say before, yes. Adjectives with full, less, bo, for example, reliable, unreliable, so on, right? Less, like helpless, careless, so on, right? And full, that is the opposite. And verbs, as I said, with eyes, AFI or aid, no? Dominate and create and so on. Nouns with ness, er, especially for people. For example, work, worker, drive, driver, teach, teacher, analyze, analyzer, yes, so on, so on, right? And with Sean the same. Stop. Guys, let's try to complete here changing the suffix of the word that it's in parentheses so you can create or you can, yes, complete it with the correct word according to the text. For example, the first one is she's very when she drives.
She is very careful when she drives. Careful.
Mhm. Careful. Care comes from the word care, which is cuidado, and of course, careful transformed into the adjective cuidadoso. Very good. Excellent, right? Number two, he works as a in a school.
Teacher?
Yes, very easy, right? The action is teach, which is enseñar, and then the noun teacher. Very good. Number three, the room is filled with.
Darkness.
Darkness.
Very good. Muy bien. Del adjetivo dark comes the word darkness, which is oscuridad, transformed into a noun. They need to.
Modernize.
Very good. Modernize is with Z or with S? I am not sure.
No,
Then
it's not with us.
it's like
It's
this, modernize.
it's plural.
Okay, okay. No, but I
Uh,
mean, the letter that is before it's Z or it's S. I'm not sure.
Modernize. I believe that it's C.
I think that it's C too. Good. Muy bien. They need to modernize their system. And number five, I always speak
Honestly,
very good, honestly, right? It's a manner of, it's an adverb of manner. So, honestly. Muy bien, that's great. So, I don't know how to explain this part, but it is not a matter of explaining per se, but it's a matter of checking the word and then you kind of understand. And to the level that you are, which is almost C1, you are able to understand these changes and apply them according to the context. Okay. Wonderful, guys. Very nice job. Now, on the other hand, we have the prefixes, which are the ones that go before. These ones are easier to understand because actually most of them come from Latin words. So they are pretty similar to the ones that we have in Spanish. No, this, which is the opposite of, like for example, assemble, disassemble. Yes. Organized, disorganized, so on. Re, doing again. Yeah. Schedule, reschedule. Organize, reorganize. Do, redo, so on. Right. Opposite, miss, yes. Understand, misunderstand, yes. Treat, mistreat, that's like the opposite, right? Reduce or remove something, yes. Colonize, decolonize, yes, and so on, right? Co, it's something together, yes, like co-work, collaborate is also like including that co in company, right? I am, and IL, which is illegal, immoral, impunctual, the opposite, no? Over, which is too much, like overvalued, overthink, right? On, not all the opposite, yeah, like unavailable. And anti, very, very typical, like with words, which is against, no? Antisocial, anti-moral, so on, anti-political, the rest, right? Try to complete then some of these words the same, yeah, like using the prefix. So the first one, it's super simple. They are
antisocial.
they are an antisocial group. They always go against society. It's easy. Number two, read all the sentence, guys.
Illegal?
But read all the sentence, Evie.
Okay. Working in the street is not illegal. It is not against the law.
Perfect. Very good. That's right. Number three.
Eh, I will say overthink.
That, of course, they say, but aquí es tend, sorry. People with anxiety tend to overthink, of course, right? They think too much. Number four.
Undone.
Very good, Danny. Undone.
Undone.
Very good. Excellent. So some things can be undone. You gotta face the consequence. Great. And number five,
Respected.
that will be with the suffix, but here we're talking about prefix.
Disrespect.
Disrespect. Very good and excellent. So I never disrespect the elderly. I was raised as a gentleman. Ready? Great, guys. Very good. So this is the way in which we can create words. Yeah. Sometimes modifying the root of the word, yes, putting affixes at the beginning, at the end. Sometimes combining with other words, especially with verbs such as, for example, get, with the verb to be, is also possible to create words. And also sometimes putting two words together as a compound adjective, new, found, homemade, handmade, barefooted. So different words that are created based on combinations that we have to do because there is not an equivalence on the word per se. Ready? Questions about the difficulties or something, guys? How do you feel about it?
It's clear, teacher.
Yeah, is it clear? Okay, very good. So let me just go here. We need yes, permitir. Good. Tu. Okay, guys, we're going to go over Kahoot. Let me just put it here. Tu. Ready, guys. So go to Kahoot, and join with the pin. It's about word creation, word formation, so it's kind of easy for you.
Profe, ¿puedes enviar el link, por favor?
Claro, Emi. Espérame. Solo es que entres a kahoot.it. Espérame, yo escribo por acá en el chat.
Es que estoy desde el celular.
Ay, my God, sorry. Entonces, espera, wait. Espera un segundo. Claro que si entras desde el celular, ¿no se saldrá? No sé, no estoy seguro. ¿No te sales de la llamada?
Creo que no, pero esas son de las que son como que está el triangulito rojo
Yes.
y...
Sí, sí, yes. Entonces ahí no sé si alcanzas a ver o no, porque pues,
O pues si quieres, yo respondiendo aquí por el chat.
sí, puede ser, good. O si quieres, pues vea, te dejo el link, le anota la contraseña y pues te logueas ahí, te desconectas de aquí de la sesión y cuando terminemos te vuelves a conectar. Ah, no, pero igual como ves la
Pero
respuesta, no,
en
no se
ese
puede.
como no sale la respuesta, a mí solo me
Sí, sí,
saldrían
sí.
los colorcitos.
Ah, listo, Emi, no te preocupes, respondes en el chat, ¿vale? ¿Te parece bien? Sí. Listo. Bueno, vamos a jugar entonces, pues sale. Chun, chun, chun. Bueno, so it says choose the correct option to complete the next sentence. Normally, people who become successful are the Entonces, guys, here we have the noun. We have the noun which is people. Ready? Hardworking, the most hardworking, great, because that is an adjective. But hardest workers, it would be fine, but we have people, and we cannot have workers people because that is a double noun. So that's why the yellow one is not correct. Okay, ready? Muy bien, very good. So, let's go. So when I think I will, I immediately check the, I immediately check tell mom. Bueno, that is incorrect. I immediately tell mom, right? Very good. It's just the action of feel sick, so that's why. Yeah. So great job here. Mhm. Next. I really get cranky when I need to a task over again. So this make no, because it's not like undo, which is the real word, but it's redo, no? Because it's I need to redo a task over again, again and again. That's why, right? Very good. You must have some for your dreams to come true. You must have some. Very good, excellent. Here we have three different words which are real. One it's unreal. Determinants is unreal. But determinate is the verb, determine is the adjective, and then we have determination, which is the noun, no? And that's what you have to have, right, in order to complete your dreams. Great. Bueno, Adam, it's killing it. Very good. Great, my friend. Congratulations. Next, in a relationship, it's essential to what you really want. Very good, excellent, right? So once again, here it's using the verb, which is IFI, specify, right? Specific and specify, specific and specify, they are adjectives. And specifying, well, it's the ing word, but after to, you know that after to, the verb it's in infinitive. So that's why it's essential to specify. Very good. Good, very good. Next. People who get caught cheating on the exams will be easy, very good. That's one is pretty common, which is disqualified, right? Overqualified exists, but it's not what we have here, no? Because in this case, it's like unqualified. I mean, they are going to remove it from the course, so that's why it's disqualified, right? Great, guys. 7 out of 8. So sedentarism is really for our body. Easy, very good. Harmful. No, it's harm, which comes from the word daño. Yes. So harmful, it means dañino. It's an adjective. Harmless exists, but it's the opposite. When I say harmless, it's like inoffensive. But harmful is the opposite. It's muy dañino. Very good. And the last one. Bueno, Daniel, you are doing a very good job too, man. Very good. Excellent. Last one. People can't without a valid reason. Very good. Yes. Remember that this combination usually comes with a verb in past participle. So get fired, that's a different thing. That's like get a piece of fire. But get fired is the action of lost your job, yes, by the order of your boss. Good. So in that case, great. You did a fine job, guys. Wait a second. So it was first, of course, Ana, and second, Daniel, no? Muy bien. Great. Congratulations, mister. Very good job. Really, congratulations. They were not that easy, but actually, you have a great vocabulary. You too. And also, Emily, of course, you have a great vocabulary. So, congratulations on that, guys. Bueno, my dear people. So, guys, so far, any questions about the word formation? Is it clear? Is it not clear? What do you think? How do you feel?
It is clear, teacher.
It's clear.
Yes. Well, I know that some of you already sent your activities, and I have checked them, and they're great. I mean, you created like 1,000 words using the prefixes, the suffixes, and also the compound words. So, congratulations on that. You have acquired a great vocabulary, right? Great. So, guys, as I was saying, today I need to, it's just kind of be a short information, but it's important to tell you. So, this week is the week number 7, and this level has only 8 weeks, right? So the next week it's going to be our last week. Yes, the next class is going to be our last class, right? Sadly, we are going to finish. Sadly, and not sadly, because I think that you are already tired of the process because it's 6 months studying every week, doing activities after activity, after activity, after activity. So I suppose that it must be exhausting for you, right? So, but sadly, we are going to finish our process here the next week. But as I said to Anna, the course is going to be open until August the 24th, which is going to be the last day of access to your platform. So the last week, it's going to be for you to enter, finish all the last activities that you need to finish. Maybe the final exam, the final quiz, the final checkpoint, the checkpoint 7 and 8, probably. The activities that you have for finishing, it's going to be for the last week, which is from 18, Monday 18 to the Saturday 23. Ready? That's the week that you have for that. It's the next week from 11 to 16. We're going to have our week number 8. And then the next week, you have a free class. I mean, you have no class, for finishing the activities that you have pending. Okay, so you can complete all the activities, all the things that you need to complete, the final checkpoint, so on, and that's it. Ready? Now, this week, Daniel asked me about the final exam. Ready? The final exam, it's going to be an international exam, which is called Lingua Skill. Yes? That exam is presented from your home, remotely. Ready? What you have to do, and I really recommend you to present it because, I mean, the whole process of this course was directed to that exam because that exam works as a real certification, right? So I really recommend presenting the exam, but I also recommend preparing yourself for the exam. The exam is not as easy as the activities in the platform. Yeah, the exam requires a lot of attention on listening and reading too. Okay, I don't know if you have ever presented one of these exams, but it's kind of difficult. It's a little bit hard to present because it requires a lot of attention. The questions come all together afterwards, and you cannot repeat well, the audio repeats itself, but you cannot pause it or anything, right? So you're going to have a limited time, and it's a little bit of pressure presenting the exam. So I really recommend you to prepare yourself for the exam. Okay, you can find some drills or, wait, come on here. We can find lingua skill practice exams, practice test. Exactly. Ready? So in there in Cambridge, you can find some, how do you say that, drills or like mock test, yeah, in order to practice before presenting the exam, getting to know the type of questions. There are going to be a lot of different audios and a lot of different readings and a lot of different questions about find the correct preposition or find the correct word here. So it's not impossible, but it's a little bit difficult to present. So I really recommend you to prepare yourself. After the end of the course, you're going to have 1 month for presenting the exam. All you gotta do is sending a message, a mail to the coordinator of the area, and he will give you the different options that you have for presenting the exam. Day and hour. Ready? So what you have to do is just sending the mail and asking the coordinator that you want to present the exam, that you already finished all the 5 levels, and selecting the option that best suits your schedule. Ready? That is going to be 1 month after the end of the course. So if you want to present it August the 25, fine. You gotta send the message, right? But maximum 1 month later. Okay. So I think that you still have some time. For example, the last week, as you already almost finished all the activities, you have time for doing some of these practice activities and preparing yourself. Okay. In YouTube, you can even find some videos about practice, like lingua skill practice, and there are going to be some people explaining the exam and how to do better on those exams. Okay, so I really suggest you check some of those videos, some of these web pages, so you get ready for the exam. Okay, questions about the exam, guys? Problems about the exam? Difficulties?
No, teacher.
No, all fine.
Teacher, I got a question. So I didn't I don't have the email of the coordinator.
Ah, okay, no, just text me on WhatsApp and I send it to you there. Okay,
Thank you, teacher.
no worries, all fine.
Teacher,
Yes,
sorry.
Danny.
I would like to recommend my my fellow classmates. I believe that's how I would say
Yeah.
the English Core app that you recommended me before, because I believe that it's really useful and it could help them to practice for the exam.
Mhm, 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 mhm. Hi guys, sorry, I was drinking some water. Please, if you want to present a mock test before, which is going to give you actually certification and everything, you can download this application. It's called English Score British Council. This one, ready? It sounds like this. Let's see if I can find it on the Play Store. This is the one. This is the one, guys. It's called British Council English Score, and it's going to allow you to present different exams and even gives you like a grade, a level, yeah. And you can practice here a lot, so you can get ready for the exam. Okay, super recommended. I forgot to tell you. Thank you, Danny, for reminding us. Yeah, but it's a wonderful application, and you can even pay the certification if you want it. But of course, you have that for the lingua skill exam. Okay. Questions, guys, difficulties, anything about it?
No, sir.
All fine. Okay, guys. Well, so I think that for today, that's all. I really want to congratulate you guys because I have seen that you have wonderful level, great vocabulary, and when I check your activities, I almost got nothing to correct. So it's a blessing for me. So thank you guys for so much commitment. And that's it. I think we are going to see the last time next week on Thursday, if I'm not wrong. The classes are already available for programming, so go ahead, programming already, Thursday, 8 p.m. Nothing, guys, that's it. So have a wonderful weekend, enjoy, practice, prepare yourself, and get ready for presenting the exam, okay?
Thank you,
Bye,
teacher.
Thank you, teacher.
Have a good
Bye.
weekend. Goodbye.